All right.
Hello, hello! Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name's Talatala, and I'm here today with lovely.
Quinn, Mighty Quinn or Rosie, depending on what you want to pick. But today I am here as Kirian Blackwell and Tala.
And I am here as Drift and their dog Eerie. On that note, though, say, Kirian, where are you right now?
He is in a little town that I came up with called Larksborough, a town where their biggest sell is the fact that there are at least one place in Inkwell where not a lot happens. And he went there kind of on purpose because he's one, doesn't really want a lot to be happening, and two, it's a good quiet place to earn a little bit of extra pocket change doing odd jobs around town.
Ah, well, that's unfortunate, Kirian. Well, before I get to that, what specific place in the town is he? Like on this fine, I don't know, autumn evening.
Fine autumn evening, he's probably at the local tavern for dinner. He's probably one of those small hometown diner things. Nothing too crazy, but someplace that you can definitely get a good warm meal. So he's probably there, and he's probably actually playing a bit of darts because I know that that's a good staple hobby thing to do sometimes. And also sometimes you can bet against someone else, and his wallet's a little bit light, and while he doesn't usually like doing this sort of thing, sometimes you need the extra padding in your wallet.
All right, all right. Well, okay.
That's a phone going off.
While you're, playing your game of darts, Kirian, could you feel free to roll, let's say, a perception check at disadvantage since you're, distracted with darts?
Okay. See if I can remember. There is a thing. I'll just roll it twice. Here's the first one. Ooh, lower one is a 13.
All right, let's see. Yeah, you pretty easily notice the little cloaked figure who sort of comes by to the dartboard and is standing, like, by your side pretty much. But right now, they just seem to be watching you play.
In that case,
You also see their absolutely giant dog beside them.
yeah, it's probably the dog he spots first. Let's see. Just for fun. We'll do a dex check to see how well he's doing. Oh, he's not doing
unfortunate.
good. Oh, he's not. He missed the board. He's not having a good night. Thankfully, he's only betting silver pieces.
Yikes. What is it? What, do you have two left hands or something? The shadowy person says.
No. Oh, out of character. I bet what does it is that something falls in the bar, and he jumps, and that's what makes him miss. Because he's got big ears that hear quite well. So, he grimaces and just goes, I usually do better.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to, hit the board, buddy.
I said, oh, I'm aware of that. At least I didn't hit a person. And
True,
a couple of the other guys he's playing against have a laugh at that because you don't usually like bet and darts by yourself. So there's probably
Speaking of people,
yes.
would you mind telling me your name?
Kirian Blackwell. And
Oh, Kirian Blackwell. Is that with Blackwell with an E at the end? Yeah.
And that's when he that's the moment where Kirian pauses and ear twitch, and that's when he slowly turns to you and can you roll me an insight?
Sure, I will. $14.
The other people nearby don't notice this, but you notice suddenly the air around him has shifted in a way that doesn't quite feel right. But you know that you have just triggered a wait a minute suspicion alarm because most people don't Blackwell is an unusual name in the fact that there's like 3 different ways to spell it. And the fact that you got the correct one right off the bat has immediately called up the suspicion alarms. But he's not going to wig out just yet.
Lovely.
But he looks at you and goes, yes, actually, that's quite unusual. Most people don't get it right the first time.
And Kirian, this person doesn't have a mouth, but you get the feeling that as they're looking up at you, they are smiling. Ah, well, I'm told I'm awfully clever for my age.
Well, and how old is that? You don't look. And he kind of gives you a once over, and I guess this would be the point where he rolls perception to actually examine who he's talking to.
Perception or insight or, I don't know, a flat intelligence, maybe? Whatever works.
I'll go with perception. 14, not too bad. It is above average.
Yeah, with a 14, Well, I mean, this person is pretty much just made of shadows. It's a bit hard to, make out any features, but, like, they definitely, judging by their voice alone, they definitely seem young.
There's an ear twitch, but he also just kind of asked roughly how old that would be.
Teen-ish, pretty much. By the way, and at this point, do you want to say that the other people playing darts have, like, moved on to let these two have their little chat? Because darts wait for nobody.
Yeah, he probably would have handed over, like, let's say roughly 5-6 silver pieces to one of the guys he was playing against and has kind of moved away because this is clearly someone looking for a conversation.
Lovely. Okay. At that point, Drift lowers their voice and they say, "The name's Drift, by the way. You probably haven't heard of me, but..."
Well, you actually see him pause a little bit, and he kind of tilts his head at you, and his eyes narrow a bit, kind of thoughtful. He goes, "Drift. Have we met before? You... And he kind of gives you another once-over and said, as well as having his eyes trail over to your very large dog, and goes, I feel like, have we bumped into each other before? So I guess this would be rolling a wisdom to see if, is this person you're talking to familiar to you?
Are you sure you want to wisdom check? Because if it's a bad one, Drift will not remember. And
it's all right. 10 is this person is vaguely familiar, but I don't know where. Like you might look like someone I met before once.
13. Okay. Drift.
Okay. For that, you look at this guy and something twigs at the back of your brain, like maybe you've seen him once, maybe twice, maybe once before from like across a market or something. There's definitely something that twigs as familiar. Like you might have bumped into each other somewhere once before.
Alright, well, Drift will think about that later, because right now, I just wave it off, say, well, I've been in many places. I'm a bounty hunter, in fact. And on that note, keep your voice down. You won't like what happens if you try to get help.
You see the person in front of you freeze. And it's very much the cartoon. Everything goes very still, but at the same time there's also almost kind of Reelkind-ish twitch to the edge of one of the eyes. Everything is just suddenly very, very still about him.
Yeah, just like that. I'm glad to see you can follow orders.
No, it's not so much following orders as not being stupid.
Well, a valuable trait as well, I suppose. Anyways, Kirian, in case it wasn't obvious enough, I was kind of hired to hunt you down. But, here's the thing. How much money would you say you've got in your pouch right now?
Kirian takes a breath and says very slowly, frankly, not much at all. There's a reason I was betting on darts.
Dang, unfortunate.
Yes, something tells me this is going to be a very unfortunate encounter for both of us.
For both of us? You're awfully confident about that. You want to make that a challenge?
Oh, no, it's just that, well, my magic specializes in ignoring armor.
Well, that sounds fun.
You see a faint glint, and then you hear in your head, after all, you'd be surprised just how easy it is to do. And for that, you did not see his mouth move, but you heard him nonetheless.
Alright. You get a returning message. Am I supposed to be impressed? Come on, that's kitty play. And also, with the message cantrip, I'm assuming.
No, actually. Kirian is an aberrant mind sorcerer, and one of the abilities you get is telepathy for up to 4 minutes.
Well, okay, Drift replies with the message cantrip.
Message, I see. And again, he's still not speaking as he says, that's always a fun one. I never actually got that.
Oh, well, it comes in handy, especially in a crowded place like this. Wouldn't want anyone, overhearing now, would we?
Yes, but don't waste your cantrip magic. When it comes to my telepathy, it's unneeded. And it goes both ways.
Nice. Convenient.
Yes, very.
Well, yeah, basically, I'll get to the chase. I'm basically here to either kill or capture you, but, a recent encounter has taught me that maybe 20 gold isn't nearly enough for, someone else's life.
You see an ear twitch, and then he goes, I see, and you're sure it's kill or capture. And this is a moment where I say, we didn't actually discuss what Kirian's bounty poster said. Because usually, for a bounty poster, it will list specifically if this person is wanted dead.
Oh, okay. What did Kirian say?
Kirian's is very much a wanted alive, but it's something like, I think in my head I said something of 20 gold, maybe, and even then, it was 20 gold for capture or information.
Okay. I'll say Drift is purposely keeping the information part out.
Yeah, it's not like Kirian would have gone looking for that. He goes, instead he kind of goes, I'm surprised that he would actually offer to pay at all, honestly.
Yeah, 20 gold? I mean, come on. This isn't my first rodeo, at least not anymore. Right now, minimum price as 50 gold, probably. Just, come on, 20 absolute scam.
Yes, I suppose I can understand that. Although, just to clarify, he said, I'm surprised he would pay at all.
Yeah, I know.
No, I meant out of character.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, oh, sorry. But he kind of tilts his head and goes, yes, I suppose I could see how that's a problem. I actually suddenly realized I don't remember how much money he has on hand. One moment. Oh! Hey!
And you were saying you were poor?
It might have been a while since I've updated. Let me do that real quick, because I'm just realizing. I mean, when you think about it... Okay. I always do that one twice. Oh, it does stay there. Anyways, what I meant was that... I mean, for a lot of the fancier tools on equipment, that's usually 25 gold. So, for example, a tool kit of some kind, like thieves' tools or a woodcarver's kit, that's usually about 25 gold. So, yes, compared to that, he is quite poor.
$35 is still more. Okay. So yeah, Drift is nodding and going. But 20 gold is 20 gold. But maybe I'm just feeling a bit lazy today. So would you say that you could be able to pay that bounty?
And Kirian pauses and he thinks very hard for a moment and goes, it would take a hit to my winter savings, but yes, I probably could manage it. And there's definitely a kind of bitterness to the thought, but also he doesn't want to get in a fight. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to do that right now. He's a squishy sorcerer, man.
You don't want to fight, and you probably don't want to fight the dog.
No, he does not. That dog is big and has big teeth.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, okay, here's how this is gonna go then. You give me 21 gold, and I don't kill you right here and now.
And obviously there is no choice behind this.
Well, you could fight back, but I mean,
No,
who knows how that would go?
No, I'm a sorcerer. I know I squish. I know I squish.
Oh, come on. Don't give yourself a bit of credit. I'm basically a sorcerer myself, too.
My dear fellow. Fellow? Is that the correct one?
It works.
My dear fellow, I know that I squish from experience. And unfortunately, my armor is pants. Whoa.
Did I disconnect for a second?
Yeah, just a half second, but basically Kirian said, I know my armor is horrible. So he knows that if he tries to fight, it won't end well for him.
Well, then I guess you do have no choice. 21 gold, or I fight ya, and you lose.
Alright, 21. Yeah, I can part with that. If I may ask, more out of my curiosity than anything else, why is a teenager acting as a bounty hunter?
Well, I gotta make money somehow. And besides, this is profitable.
He kind of quirks an eyebrow at that and then goes, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there other things that are more consistent in the long run?
I mean, yeah, but they require, some kind of education, or they require a parent's signature, or they require you to sit in one place for an entire day, which, come on, that's boring as hell. I'd rather be a bounty hunter.
And his brow kind of furrows a bit, like thinking. He's like, could have sworn well, then again, it was the Street of Dreams, so I suppose.
But anyways, Kirian, you gonna hand over the gold or what?
But Kirian sighs and he digs into his hammer space. Let's see if he can actually get it for a shot. Let's see. He does get it. He digs into his hammer space, which is inside his coat. Specifically, he just kind of shoves a hand inside his sleeve, and he pulls out his wallet and pulls out 21 gold.
Alright, sweet. Drift takes the gold and just sort of retreats their arm back into their cloak, and it's gone. Nice.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, well, I prefer as little confrontation as possible, and as little attention as possible. And this time he kind of looks at you and goes, I assume that since I've paid you, the person who's hired isn't going to hear about the fact that you actually found me?
Wow. And you get the feeling that they are giving you the biggest shit-eating grin underneath all that shadowy stuff.
Oh, am I going to have to empty the rest of my wallet to convince you not to? And he says it with this kind of deadpan look while his ears kind of dipping down. Very much the annoyed deadpan of, oh, of course.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I did say that if you could pay up, I wouldn't kill you here and now to take your bounty. But if you also want to keep me from telling my employer that I saw you, then let's spar. If you can, because, I also bounty hunt not just for the money, but for the fun of it as well. And, as nice as free money is, I want a bit of excitement today. So if you can give me some of that, we'll consider my lips sealed. How's that sound?
This time he pauses and he tilts his head, and you can kind of see him very much debating the merits of picking a fight in the middle of the street, and goes, outside of town. Do it there, at least save the townsfolk some property damage.
Boo, boring. But fine.
Yes, well, this place is filled with nice people who are just trying to live their lives, and I want to be able to come back. Thank you.
You mean filled with nothing people doing nothing stuff for the rest of their nothing lives. Real fun town, this one.
Well, it's a good place to vacation when your life is constantly on the line.
Damn. I couldn't imagine. Anyways.
Well, of course not.
Pack up your stuff.
You hear him kind of mumble, well, of course not. You're a teenager. You're ready to throw your life away at the slightest hint of excitement. But it's definitely a mutter that you're not supposed to hear.
Riff just sort of laughs at that before. Well, anyways, Kirian, pack up your stuff. I think it's about time we head out.
He sighs and he kind of just... He grabs the staff that you hadn't noticed was leaning against a wall nearby, as well as a actual backpack from the ground. And he hitches the bag over one shoulder and goes, all right. There's a forest to the north end. It shouldn't be too far.
All right, sweet. A battle in the forest in the dark. Sounds like fun.
And
with that, Drift and the dog are already leaving.
Yes, what joy. I hope I don't have to intimidate this kid too badly during the fight. Because, fun fact, a lot of Kirian's magic is horror-themed. That was what he was trying to imply, but it did not pick up.
Drift figured as much, but they're not intimidated by much.
Yes, well, he also wasn't actively trying to intimidate, otherwise I would have rolled that. But they head out into the dark forest, and I will say one thing. Let me roll something really little. I guess it wouldn't exactly be a stealth, but it's going to be labeled as a stealth. But it's basically, how well does Kirian suddenly become really, really hard to keep track of while in the woods? And the answer is, and considering that's an 18, the answer is, despite the bright blue coat and the bright orange and yellow scarf, the moment you step into the darkness, suddenly it's a lot harder to keep track of this guy.
I'll be honest, I think I might roll the same for Drift, because
they are a shadow child.
Yeah, and they have a feature as well where they basically, in dim lighting, they've got advantage on stealth checks.
Ooh.
Since it's shadow child.
Oh, they have the skulker feat?
No, it's a thing I added with their whole deal. It does have some downsides, but I'm not saying them just yet.
Ah.
Depending on what spells you use on them, you might discover.
Yes. I may have to pull up my spellbook. I may have to at some point do that spellbook command in order to double check what Kirian can do. Oh. That's a 13. Oh! Never mind. That's a 22. Yeah, you are gone.
At this point, the only creature who can keep track of the other is Eerie with her very good nose.
Yes, but either way, both suddenly become much, much harder to keep track of. Now let me double check a thing, because suddenly I have forgotten what he can do. Ah, yes, there we go. You hear Kirian's quiet voice go, "So, do you want to go first, or shall I?"
Oh, awfully polite. Don't worry about it. Let's just... want to say that they're, like, in a clearing now, sort of free from the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, sweet. So, Drift just sort of shrugs and says, don't worry about it. Let's just say... when Eerie here barks, that's when we begin. How's that sound?
Alright. That sounds reasonable.
Lovely. Alright then. Go on, Eerie, go on. And Drift sort of waves their dog over to, like, the middle of the clearing, where she sits down, looks between the two, and then barks. And now let's roll initiative.
Alright. What the fuck was your initiative again? Because I don't feel like actually running the initiative here. Oh, right. Not great.
18 for Drift.
Oh, 9.
Unfortunate. Okay, Drift goes first. Well, let's see. Where's that thing again?
But then again, you disappeared really well into the darkness, so he probably loses sight of you really quick.
Don't worry, the stealth is gone. You can actually dim lighting. You know what? I don't actually want to worry about darkness rules and whatnot. I want to just say they're in. Since the moon is so bright, it's just they can see each other perfectly fine.
Yeah, there's a full moon out, and it's one of those big ones that's almost turns the darkness into daytime.
Yeah.
Still a little hard to pick each other out, but functional.
Yeah, I don't want to worry about darkness levels.
Yeah.
So, when Eerie barks, Drift puts 2 fingers to their non-existent mouth and lets out an ear-piercing whistle as they call upon their Hound of Ill Omen, which basically just means Eerie suddenly goes from a perfectly friendly not little, but perfectly friendly dog to now chomping at the bits to get at Kirian. So let's see. Alright, I gotta roll initiative for the dog now. Hold on.
Doggy needs in it.
820 plus that. 8. Okay, they go right after Kirian. So, let's see. In an unoccupied short. Okay, so suddenly, Drift whistles and, Eerie is on her feet and is running at Kirian. And, they're basically summoned within, let's say 5 feet of Kirian. There is now a dog within 5 feet of you who looks very, very not friendly anymore. And let's see. For their full action.
Hold on a sec. I'm noticing something weird with his sheet, so give me just...
Alright. While you do that, I'll see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, for some reason it's saying his HP is at 17 out of 22, and that is incorrect. Why am I suddenly forgetting this command? You know what? I'll just ignore it and write it by hand. Never mind.
This is like a sort of friendly fight. Drift isn't aiming to kill, so they'll just pull out a gun and shoot a firebolt.
Oh.
Yes, no, you don't know who gave this teenager a gun, but they have a gun. Which fires at you, nat 1.
Well, his armor class at the moment is an 11, so that misses.
Alright, then. That is Drift's turn.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing that Kirian is going to do is that, now that he's been attacked at least once, is he is going to make use of his mage armor spell, which, what does that do again? I know it. Okay. He's basically going to pat his own shoulder and cast mage armor, which makes the armor class 13 plus the dex modifier, which is 1. So that bumps him up to 14 for an armor class. Not much, but it makes things a bit harder.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Just because I like using that to keep track of my spell slots.
Alright, and is that your turn?
No. What he does next is he pulls out one of his daggers, and he is unfortunately going to aim for the dog to at least knock it off course so it can't bite him. So
Alright, go ahead.
Yes, that was the one I meant.
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah. So that's a 23 to hit, and then
7 damage. Alright.
I don't think it doubled. Oh, it doubled. Oh, right. This doubles the dice, I think.
Alright, 7 damage. I'll just take that off of Aries' health.
Yeah.
Alright.
Double dice.
Is that everything?
Yeah, that covers the spell for the turn as well as the single combat action. I would have him run, except this is a spar. But
True. And you also can't disengage from the dog.
yeah.
Alright then. It's Erie's turn. She goes in for the bite. So that will be a +5. 24.
Ah, shit. You chomp on and you chomp good. My guess is you get either a leg or an arm.
Lovely. Well, Erie is now latched onto a leg, and as she starts vigorously shaking, I'm gonna need you to make a strength saving throw. 2d6 plus that. And also take 7 damage. Eye for an eye. Unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah.
You are knocked prone.
Yeah. Let's see. 22 minus 7. That drops him down to 15 HP, and he is prone. So we jump back to...
It's now Drift's turn. Alright.
He got one good shot in with the dagger, and that was apparently that was his only good shot.
Yeah, you might be in trouble here. But, let's see.
Well, he did say he was squishy.
That is true. That is very true. That requires a roll. Okay, Drift will start, idly walking forward, like they've got all the time in the world, and they're going to cast Sapping Sting. I need you to make a con save.
Oh dear. Oof. 10.
Oof. Yep. That is 1d4 plus. Yeah, just 1d4. You're already prone, so you don't get the secondary effect.
Which means he loses another 2 HP.
Yeah. But hey, on a better note, it's your turn.
Okay. I don't think being prone affects this particular spell. No, it shouldn't. In that case, he's going to save getting up for after he casts this, but the next spell he's going to use is... Well, I suppose one question I should ask is, how close is Drift?
I was thinking since they're going at a very casual pace, they're like 25 feet away.
Well, let's see if this hits.
Ooh, Hunger of Hadar.
No, Arms of Hadar.
Arms of Hadar.
Yeah. It only...
Alright, all creatures within 10 feet.
Yep. And it's 2d6 necrotic.
Alright, I'll roll that strength save.
And I know at the very least you need to roll it for the dog.
Yeah, for the dog. That's what... Well, Eerie fails.
In other words, no reactions next turn.
Alright. So, Eerie just sort of disappears in this, shadowy hellscape of, eldritch tentacles.
And the flavoring specifically for Kirian's eldritch tentacles is that... Have you ever seen that effect when you dip a brush that has black ink in it into a thing of water?
Ah, I see.
That's what his look like. And you can still kind of see him, but the thing you see most is the single wide glaring eye that is staring one at the closest creature that was hittable.
Alright. Is that his turn?
Well, now he tries to get up.
Alright.
Which just takes an action, and I think we mostly just say it.
Nah, half your movement.
Yeah, but since he isn't really trying to move anywhere... Yeah. But, yes, that's the end of it for now.
Alright, so he's back up. Eerie's going to go for another bite. 24 again.
Oh,
So
man.
close to a crit.
Ah.
I'm gonna need you to make that strength save again. And take 9 damage.
15. He does a little bit better this time.
15. Yeah, you're fine. She's still gnawing on your leg, but you don't fall prone. And it is now Drift's turn. And they
Oh
looked
dear.
moment.
He's only got 2 HP left.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So Drift they looked pretty impressed. Like, maybe a little surprised. He goes, huh, neat trick. Let's see if it can protect you from this. And they cock their gun and aim. You know what? I'm gonna roll a D2 to see what spell they go for. Two.
Oh dear. I can tell by the tone of voice that's the not good one.
The two options were Chaos Bolt and Magic Missile, and Magic Missile was number 2.
Oh no.
So you see them cock their gun, aim, and from the end, 3 glowing darts shoot at you faster than you can even react, and far more accurate than anything they've shown today. And I don't even need to roll the damage.
Yeah, those bolts hit and he just crumples. He's out. You've knocked him out. We'll just say he's out instead of dead.
Yeah. They're not aiming to kill.
But you see him crumple to the ground because he is now unconscious. You have knocked him out in, like, the shortest fight probably in your history.
Nah, they've had shorter. But with that, Drift whistles again, and Eerie stops gnawing on his leg and just sits up, wags her tail, happy as can be. And Drift walks over and just sort of squats down beside him. Well, good fight. You were not kidding. You are squishy.
And they're saying this to an unconscious person, so it's like the message is clear. He wasn't kidding when he said he was squishy.
Yeah. So they just had to give him a pat on the head, leave him a note that says, and no, they are not going to like drag him to a safe location or anything. They're just
gonna leave his unconscious ass in the forest.
Yeah, you're the one who wanted to fight in the forest. You can stay in the forest.
Well, technically, he is staying in the forest. He's been living out of a tent, but that's beside the point.
Unfortunate. Well, they leave a note then that basically says, "Hey, sleepyhead, good fight. It was kind of pathetic, but you did all right." Signed, Drift. P.S. And don't worry, I'll keep my word. These lips are sealed.
When he finally comes around, he's like, well, good to know they did keep their end. Followed by him kind of mumbling, ow, I better go back to my tent to sleep the rest of the night, otherwise, I'll probably catch something.
And probably wash off all the dog slobber.
Dog slobber, as well as tend to the bite wound he now has.
Yeah. Ouch, those teeth were in fact as sharp as they looked. And with that, Drift has already, of course, left with their newfound gold. They went back to the tavern, got themselves a drink, had a quick meal, and by the morning, they're gone. And that has been Toonkind at 12 FPS. Nah, your price isn't worth it. Thanks for listening. Well, actually, before we do the outro, you had anything else you want to do?
No, I think the most Kirian was going to do is that the next morning he comes in, he looks awful, and his quiet thought is, I'm going to stay here for about 2 more days, and then I'm going to leave.
That's fair.
Give himself some recovery time before bailing.
And might not want to stay in the same town a bounty hunter knows he's staying in.
Yeah. Caught
With
once
that,
is
then.
bad luck. Don't want to make it twice.
True. In that case, then, our FPS has come to an end. Thanks for listening, any future viewers. And, yeah, have a good rest of your day.
Have a good time zone. Bye.
See ya!